Good morning, everyone. We will start the session. So remaining participants will join. So you are welcome for this today's webinar on transmission line protection. I welcome to all of you and also Mr. Saurabh Chaudhary. He's a protection, control and commissioning engineer in TRC companies USA. So before going to start this session, I want to introduce this Institute Industry Forum. What is it and what are the activities we do under this forum? So the aim of this forum is to bridge the gap between institute and industries. So everyone knows that today also there is a huge gap because everyone is working on their own platform. Still we are trying to bridge this gap. So the motto of this forum is to bridge the gap between academia and industry. So under this forum, we have started some of the activities, like we are arranging different webinars. So there are many experts from institutions as well as from industries. And also this forum is ISO 9001:2015 certified, accredited by USL, England, UK. In this forum, there are so many participants which are from many organizations, many institutions, as well as industries. Like we have members from IITs, NITs, CPRI, NPTI, and different regulatory bodies, as well as various DISCOMs, Transcoms, and these GENCOs. Also Tata, Adani, JSW, ABB, Siemens, and many more companies are there with us. Under this forum, we actually give this certification for the certification of appreciation to these speakers, as well as we offered suitable remuneration also. Also for the participants, we provide the certificates of participation. Also, we have another activity along with this forum, that we have students forum. So that is an engineering student forum. So under this, there are so many activities we are doing for the students. Especially we are guiding them for their project works, dissertation, thesis, and all those things. We participate these students in the different regular webinars. More than 400 students we have across India are connected here. So by forming this forum, what are the advantages we are getting? So actually, we have started some of the courses which are actually based on industry knowledge for the students and for professionals also, because we have experts from many fields, and also we provide guidance as well as we are involved in the research and development activities. Also, on this platform, we have started career counseling as well as placement services and free job portal. So we have arranged previous some webinars for the different jobs also on this platform. So we have webinars. Also, we have free registration for the institute and industry members, for professional as well as for students. Also, we carried out feasibility system studies which are required for any project installation, commissioning, as well as we provide consultancy services also, as we have experts from various fields. So these are our different courses we have started, online courses, certification courses especially for professionals and students, and where practically knowledge we can share. Now, I would like to introduce today's our expert faculty, Mr. Saurabh Chaudhary. He's a protection controls and commissioning engineer at TRC Companies USA. He's working with this company from 2017. He did his MS in electrical engineering from Michigan Technological University in the period August 2015 to April 2017. He worked with many that is protection and control as a protection and control commissioning engineer for 4 years. He worked with the Commonwealth Edison, that is Chicago South region. Again, American Electric Power, that is Michigan and Indiana, PSE&G, and New Jersey Transit, along with 1 year protection lab experience of using power system simulation software like ASPN or Power World or ATP in the same university, that is a Michigan University. Also, he has experience in testing and commissioning, so like cell and G relays. He has strong understanding of three-phase power principles, symmetrical components, power system transients, operation and testing of protecting relaying devices and associated equipments. He has also experience in commissioning of 345 oblique 13869 oblique 12 kV transmission and distribution substation. Also, again, I would like to say something about Saurabh. That is, he worked with MSc TCL as a trainee in the period of October 2014 to December 2014. So he was with us in HVDC. Actually, his father is also a protection engineer. He is also having vast industrial experience, and his father is also working in MSc TCL itself. So here in this training, he has performed many activities and studied many things on the field. So such a great or we can say expert faculty today we have. And also I would like to say something about Saurabh, that he has uh, really some good things for us, for our people. That is, we have seen the trend of people which are actually going to abroad, then they have no connection with Indian and we people, but Saurabh is connected with us, and he's ready to share his whatever knowledge he earned, theory as well as practical. So really, we appreciate he has accepted our invitation on this platform. So really, we are very much thankful to him. And he has, because we know that in Western world, time is money and time is so much important for them. So he has shared his valuable time with us. So I'm really thankful to him for joining with us. And now I request him to start his presentation. So once again, thanks to all of you. And thanks to Saurabh also. So now you can start your presentation. Thanks.
All right. Hey, this is Saurabh. Thank you so much for the kind introduction, and I'm really grateful for you guys to have invited me to this platform. So thanks. And today I will be talking about transmission and protection. So if you want to protect a transmission line, you should take into consideration primarily two things. So the first one is, what kind of transmission line protection scheme are we going to use? Is it going to be a overcurrent protection scheme? Is it going to be a distance-based protection scheme, or is it going to be a differential or current differential protection scheme? And to implement all of these schemes, or excluding the overcurrent protection scheme, for the rest of the two schemes, you need a communication channel between the local end relay and the remote end relay. So the two communication channels I'm going to be covering in this presentation is going to be PLC channel, which is power line carrier. And the second one is optical fiber communication channel. So we'll start off with the basics of communication channel. So firstly, I'll be talking about power line carrier channel. So for this setup to work, we need two relays, one at local end, other at remote end. We also need a line tuner circuit, which is comprised of a series resonant filter. And in this communication channel scheme, we use protection line as our communication medium. So you don't need an external or an extra communication channel to implement this scheme. We also need line traps, which are comprised of a parallel resonant filter. And usually, as far as the American standards are concerned, here we use 100 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz of carrier frequency. So moving on, what's the difference between a series resonant filter and the parallel resonant filter? So series resonant filter is nothing but the line tuner, and the parallel resonant filter is nothing but the wave trap. So the line tuner is a kind of LC series filter, which at resonant frequency, or in other words, its tuned frequency acts as a complete short circuit to the tuned frequency. And the opposite is true for a parallel resonant circuit. As the name suggests, it's a band stop filter. So at its resonant frequency, the impedance seen by the resonant or the tuned frequency is maximum. So it acts as an open circuit. So this facilitates that our carrier frequency doesn't go into our power system, or it stays on the transmission line and doesn't go into a substation and cause interference to our power. So there are a few considerations we should be considering while using power line carrier. So the first thing is there should be no reflected power. What do I mean by that? We get reflected power when the uh, impedance of the transmission line does not match with the impedance of the coax cable um, used to connect the line tuner to the relay. So the first thing you need to do while commissioning a power line carrier circuit is match the impedance with the impedance matching transformer, which is the part of the line tuner circuit. And the second thing we should be considering is what kind of carrier system we are using. Is it an on-off carrier or a frequency shift carrier? So on-off carrier is basically a carrier which stays off in normal condition and turns on when there is a fault, or if the relay, if the remote or if the local relay needs to communicate something with the remote relay, the carrier system turns on. Whereas the frequency shift carrier system always stays on at a particular frequency, and that frequency is called the guard frequency. So this kind of carrier system improves the security, and both the relays are able to tell if the carrier system or the carrier channels are healthy or not. If the guard frequency drops, there is an alarm um, which turns high if if we lose a transmission line or the line tuner by any fault. And on the on-off carrier system, we need check back to check the carrier. But on the frequency shift carrier system, we do not need a check back because we have the guard frequency to prove the health of the carrier communication channel. So what kind of fibers do we have? So here I'm talking about the source of the the source of the laser which is used in the fiber. So we have a single mode light source, which is usually a single light beam, and the frequency or the wavelength, rather, the wavelength of this single mode light beam is of the higher range. So it's of 1300 nanometers to 1500 nanometers of wavelength. In North America, we have two separate laser cards for SEL relays. One is of 1300 nanometer frequency and the other one is of 1500 nanometer frequency. And the maximum distance to which we can send a laser signal is about 120 kilometers. So this is a point-to-point transmission distance. We can have a splice connection at the end of the 120 and we can have another 120 at the end of it. So for using a single mode laser, we need a single mode type fiber. So this fiber is different from the multi-mode, which I'm going to be discussing in the which I'm going to be discussing next. So the diameter of the inner core of this fiber is about 9 microns, which is really small. But whereas in multimode laser, we use a light beam of 850 nanometer or 1300 nanometers of wavelength. So this kind of fiber we use for really short distances, and the maximum we can go is 15 to 30 kilometers point to point for a single fiber. And the diameter of the core of this kind of fiber is pretty large because it's a multimode fiber, so we need more room to accommodate more than one beams of light. So it's about 62.5 microns thick, the core of this kind of a multimode fiber. So as we use more than one beam of light, there could be a possibility that one beam, which is supposed to be arriving late, but it arrives early. So that causes a multimode delay distortion, which is not good. So to avoid that, we should keep in mind the maximum distance um, of signal propagation in multimode fiber. So we should not exceed the 15 to 30 kilometers of range if you want to avoid the multimode delay distortion. And these days they use a graded index score rather than a single index score, which they used to use previously. So once we use this graded index score, like as you see in the diagram or the picture on the right side of your screen, the ray of light travels in a curved path rather than zigzag with sharp angles. So that also helps in avoiding the multimode delay distortion. And so fiber is generally used with current differential schemes. Current differential schemes are used for relatively shorter lines, and we could also use this as a direct fiber connection between the two terminals of transmission line. And we could also use a multiplexer ring network of fiber